Happy Memorial Day week,
Happy Memorial Day.
and I hope everybody's day was memorable. And now we start off another week, and we did kick off Midnight Madness this past Friday, exceptionally well. Teams came out, and those who came out, and hey, listen, those who didn't come to us this Friday. As I get to this when we get to the point of it. But right now, do we have Ashley Bella?
Hey everybody, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the world-renowned artist extraordinaire, Ashley Bella. And I'm gonna let her go ahead and take the mic and the floor as she's working on something too at Burdett. And I'll let her tell everything what she has going on. So Ashley, the mic is yours.
Hey everybody. So I was commissioned to do a mural over at Burdett Park, and we have a initial concept, but we decided that it might be better to get some community input on the design. And while we kind of, know that we want to have a few faces of some prominent figures or just people who are important to the history of the neighborhood, we wanted to get a chance to consider ideas that the community might have on what story we should tell through the work, and important things to see. So I thought that it'd be a good idea to hear from you guys, especially if you have an opportunity to have your voice included in the theme. I'd love to hear from you all about what you might like to see. And I'm taking notes as you talk, and we'll create an updated design based on the feedback and ideas that you guys share here. So I would love for anyone who may have some ideas for what they'd like to see on the outside wall of the gym when you're walking up. I'd love to hear your thoughts now.
Hello, Stacy Williams here. Just a question. Did you have a concept that you were, oh, those are beautiful. Did you have a concept that you were trying to focus on, or maybe even a scope of work that you wanted to start with and then branch out from?
Yeah, I know that I wanted it to have a lot of, when you think about that area, there's a lot of trees, a lot of nature, and the color on the building, I just felt like it's been there a while. So I thought that the one thing that I did want to do is just very a vibrant color palette where we have really bright colors, similar to a lot of the colors you might see on the artwork that they're showing on the screen. Um, so I knew that I wanted to have a lot of rich, vibrant color in it. Um, I toyed the idea around of having a very vibrant color for the background, and then we incorporate some design elements that were kind of like a black and white monochrome style, where it was just the black and white images, and then in some areas we have intermixed that with some images that had color. So we did a combination of both. As you can see in a lot of my work, you'll see areas where it's black and white, and then you'll see areas where there's a lot of color added with patterns. So I was really just wanting to do something vibrant that was eye-catching and got people excited when they were walking up on the building.
Hi, Jane Williams here. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. Well, you have wonderful paintings here. I love them.
Thank you so much.
And where is the mirror? The mirror going to be exactly?
It's gonna be when you walk up to the gym, it'll be that wall that where it's kind of just stucco. And then above it is a part of the wall where it looks like kind of like the panels.
I
And
think
so
so.
it'll be that wall that you look at when you're walking up, and the wall to the left of it above the garage, that garage
Oh,
door.
okay. Okay.
Perhaps
I,
we could implement some phrases or positive words or something, maybe something that some words that that's uplifting to let those that actually go to the gym, let kids know, hey, there's, I don't know, there's a positive tomorrow, look towards the future, something, words of inspiration maybe.
I like
mhm.
that a lot. I think a really
Right.
typography could be
Mhm.
good. And then maybe as a group, you guys can, however it makes sense to do it, but you guys can, throw out a few phrases and then maybe vote on one or two that
Yeah.
we can put, and we can have on, since it's two walls, it's the one that you see when you walk up and the one to the left of it. We can have a phrase on each wall. And we can just, you all can just vote on what those phrases should be specifically.
Right. And I like the idea too with I don't know, it sounds like somebody scraping something in the background. So I like the idea of the nature, with the positive saying.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that would be good, trees. I like it.
Now I know at one point, I'm gonna try to pull up the names, but there were
Okay.
a couple of, so if you bear with me, I'm searching through my email so
Okay.
I can make sure I get the names right. But there were a few people from the community that just some names got thrown out of people that we could put like their likeness in it. Um, and it was Jelon Kendrick. He's a basketball. He played basketball. Um, Miss Mumford and another person was Outlaw Classic. So I don't know if those names are familiar to you all, but those were a few people that were suggested if we were going to put faces in it, that those could be some of the ones we used.
Alrighty, so I'll come behind you a little bit. First of all, I want to remind everybody to raise their hand. Ms. Suzette will be up next for comments. But Ms. Mumford does a lot of things. We were looking for names of people who give back to the community and unsung heroes. And so Ms. Mumford, Renee Mumford, if a lot of you know who she is one that her kids got killed in a car accident coming from the game a few years back, but then she turned around and she feeds all the fire departments and police every Thanksgiving through the entire city on her own. She also teaches the free CPR classes. She's also, I believe, a nurse with the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and she does a lot of other community support things. Jelon he grew up here and was All-American with McDonald's, and he plays semi-pro ball overseas, but when he's not playing, he's here. And he also started a nonprofit that he gives out he gives out food. He teaches athletic um stuff for the kids up at Burdett, and he doesn't charge anything. He pays for everything out of his pocket. And then Outlaw Classic and Outlaw is self-explanatory that he has helped a lot of people grow up in the community and move on to do bigger and better things out of the community. The list of all the names that he has helped is is pretty long, but that's where the Outlaw Classic comes from. So that's how those names hit the table. Suzette, you had a comment?
Yes, I was going to suggest, which you did part of it, but like, I guess famous people who have lived in the community and have gone on to be sports figures. One, I believe, is Cam Newton. I, I'm constantly seeing, Cam Newton signs around, and but I'm sure that there has to be more that have come from this community, whether they have gone on to be professional sports, or if they're I guess you would call it the Olympic mode that have come through here through the years.
Okay,
See, well, let me answer this real quick. And so, one of the things is what you're talking about is that there's a Burdett is a legendary court been established since 1976, and so a lot of people have come through there. The mural is highlighting onsets of people represents past, present, and future, and also too. But this is an opportunity for the community to have input on anybody else they would like to see, because it's not me, but it's your opportunity. But also, Burdett's going to be having a wall of fame too on the inside, where there's going to be a lot more people. Hopefully, we're working on that. That's a project in itself. But a Burdett wall of fame, wall of legends. Everybody contributed out there to Burdett Park. A Burdett gym. So to answer your question, she said, yeah, everybody's going to be honored, but this is particular for the mural here.
I really like the people that you guys threw out, because they all touch it seems like different parts of the generations that have and still are around in the neighborhood. And even with, like, I think you pronounce it Jalan. We could depict him at a younger age to bring some youthfulness to it. Maybe in his younger ages, playing with the team, like, we can kind of play with that concept. And I think through the phrases, we even could have a part of the. I mean, I'll create a design to show it, but there may be some kind of way where we can get some more of those people recognized in different ways in the mural, whether there's different, like a section of it where it's like a pattern, that maybe we put people's names inside of it, or something that represents them. But I think that in a lot of the other neighborhoods where I've done murals, one of the things that really helps is that we keep it as universal as I mean, everyone's going to have an opinion, of course, but if we can keep it as universal as possible, something that is that can resonate with a lot of the different populations that are the diversity in our neighborhood, I think that's always helpful.
Ms. McKee?
Yes, thank you. And good evening to everyone. Pray all is blessed.
Hi.
I'd like to see something in reference to, yes, I'd like to see something about the airport on there or something, because we are near the airport.
Okay.
And to make sure that it focuses on South Fulton and not pull Atlanta in, because sometimes Atlanta will overshadow our city. So I'd like to make sure it's stating about the airport and where we are, our location.
Yeah. Okay.
Make a road or something from the airport coming down on, a little string or something. I don't know how you would do it, but I'm just picturing like Old National, like a drawing of a road and then an airplane on it or something.
Yeah.
Does that make sense at all?
It does, Miss Barbara. It actually, I think that could be a cool consideration, especially with a lot of the development happening and just showing how, our neighborhood is a part of everything that's growing and evolving there in our
Right.
proximity to the airport. I think that's cool.
Okay. And also, I'm a lifetime 20-year member here in this city, and I've fed thousands. Corey can tell you about my organization, Lift. So I don't have to have my name on there, but I would just love for Lift or something to be on there. Corey can tell you what I do when we're talking about unsung heroes. And I don't normally ask to be recognized, but I just think I want to do something like that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chandra?
Good evening, everyone. To piggyback on what was said, to keep to keep it holistic and inclusive, I think also something along the lines of showing where South Fulton, the city of South Fulton started, and how we're ever changing, whether it be in agriculture, community development, IT, bringing that energy, because all of that energy is also included within the city. There's a variety of enclaves of various topics that we all have our hands in, and that could be a media to include as well.
I think that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm writing that down. You guys have given me some good feedback. I'd love to hear more if anyone might have some ideas. I think the best thing is I'm gonna write down. I'm writing down as much as I can from your feedback, and I'll get with Tamiko if that's okay with you, and make kind of like a Google survey or form that we can have all these themes, and maybe we choose like the top 3 to 5 out of everyone's ideas, and I'll explore ways to incorporate as much of it as I can, with still wanting to make sure that the integrity of the work and it's cohesive, but trying to include as much of this stuff as we can. And maybe we vote a little bit, and then we'll just take the top answers.
All right, we can create a survey and put the link in the newsletter for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, but we also can do this. As people come down, get a paper filled out, and we can be advertising this every Friday night. Starting this Friday. And so people have an opportunity coming in as well. So we want to make sure we cover all ground and that everybody is notified and knows about what's going on and have an opportunity to participate, or at least have their input.
Okay.
Alrighty, next up we have Parks and Recs also on here tonight. And they are we did have the Friday night, the midnight basketball launch. And then we have another class starting tonight if they want to come on and speak on regards to that and the questions people had. Mr. Jordan, Mr. Turner.
Greetings. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody.
Greetings. This is Tenard Turner, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. My Deputy Director, Mr. Jordan, is on the line as well. I'm not going to take up much of your time, but I did want to express the joy that I had, even though I wasn't feeling well on Friday night. And I want District 5 to understand really what just happened on Friday night. The city of South Fulton, led by District 5, made history. And what I mean by that is, I think we gotta celebrate this because it was the first time the city of South Fulton, Fulton County, has ever had a midnight basketball league, ever. So we made history on Friday night. And I just want to make sure we really understand that you're talking about young men and women aged 17 through 28 involved in basketball, and basketball being of course the carrot, but ultimately getting these young people in there and provide wraparound services like financial literacy, home ownership, workforce development, record expungement. And we're gonna make history again tomorrow night when the first class starts. So this is twice in the last 48 hours that the city of South Fulton, led by District 5, will be, in terms of the history, this has never been done. And I think I mentioned this to you all when I first came aboard about 3 or 4 months ago, that we were about to do something that has never been done before. I'm proud of it. You all should be proud of it. We're gonna keep these young men and women engaged. We're gonna follow them through this process. I'm actually gonna take the class myself. We hope to at least graduate 60 individuals for this year. That's impactful. Now I'm getting calls from Atlanta. I just got a call the other day from Cobb County. Now they want this workforce development plan. But this is something that out of all the things that's been going on, I want you to think about all the things that's been going on, all the times we've been on the news for negative things. The city of South Fulton, District 5, Midnight Basketball League, workforce development, we were just on the news cycle the last 3 or 4 days about something positive. And that shouldn't go, to me, unnoticed. I think we gotta celebrate that because it's all about impacting young people. I don't know if Mr. Jordan has anything to say, but I wanted to make sure that I say thank you, Councilman Reeves, D'Amico, you all have been great. It was a total team effort, but we actually did it. And we're gonna continue to do it.
Jane, you had your hand up.
Oh, thank you, Tamiko. So, Mr. Turner. Okay, so what was the number? Did you give the number for last Friday night? And I'm sorry, I missed it.
The number of youth?
Yes.
The number of youth, I think we had about between 65 and 70 youth. We took a group picture. Hopefully, I don't know if Mr. Jordan could put that up so you all can see it or show it, but we took a group picture and it was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Well, y'all deserve a congratulatory hand clap, and so does Councilman Reeves. So thank you all so much.
Yes, ma'am.
You should be able to see the picture I just shared.
That's the picture.
Can you guys see it?
Yes, I see it. All right. Oh yeah, that's better.
That's in your district. That's
Yes,
District
okay.
5 now. That's your council person. That's your councilman. That's Ms. Tamiko. That's myself. That's Henry of It's Electric. Look at all those kids. Look at all those young men and women that are happy in the back. Now that's the class before we played basketball.
Okay, well, what about the class? Oh, okay. I didn't realize y'all had a class before you played ball.
Yeah, so what we do, we have what we call a learning session. Before you play, you have to be poured into. So Mr. Henry of It's Electric told them about generational wealth, workforce development, HVAC, electrical engineer, entrepreneurship. So that was the first one. This Friday is all about financial literacy. You know, how to become financial literacy, how to build wealth, how to keep your credit straight. So every week there's something different that we're gonna have in a classroom setting, and then they go play basketball.
Director Turner, the only thing that I would add is in the state of Georgia, to detain one child, one person, it would be $110,000. So anybody that's on probation that come through a municipal court, private court, state court, if they're in our program and they don't reoffend, then we have saved taxpayers. If we got 65, I'm not saying all 65 came from a court system, but even if it was 5 of them, you do 5 times $110,000, how much it costs to get a detained kids. We've reallocated, made better use of taxpayers' money by creating something that leads to gainful employment for a young person and give them a lifetime skill.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say this, and effect collaboration wins championship. And it's just as an effort. And this actually is something that has been in process and progress from really day one of my administration. But taking the right people to be around you, because you have to have the right people around you if you want to have effective change. Because I will say this, tomorrow at 6:31 p.m., and to my knowledge of the greatest scope, is when you have this collaboration come together. This city will make history. This will be the first and only city ever to have such a program come through Parks and Recs in the nation. And that's significant to me because we're here to change the trajectory of lives and then offer them opportunity to move forward in life. And if nothing else, just add another tool in the toolbox, the mental toolbox. And so as they will be educated and trained, just the basics. I'm taking the course, I'll be there tomorrow. And I'm just saying, and this is what it was all about. This was what it was all about right here, as now the opportunities are limitless. As you know, people take issue with being the blackest city in America. I just want to be known as the city that is always in the black. And this is a step towards that goal. And hats off to Nara, Tony, Tamiko, and Mr. Henry. And so as this has been in hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, but we here now. And it's worth every step. As them young men are gonna take advantage of it. And it's just great to see them before they go out there and play the response. So I just want to say hats off to everybody who been a part of making this happen.
I just want to say thank you for having the vision to and champion to push the things that were suggested and not tell us that we were crazy or anything. You were full on board on whatever we need, whatever we got to do for the community. I think a lot of times over the past, we've been doing this call over a year now, and several times we hear comments that you know, you're not doing anything, or you can't make things happen instantly on some people's personal individual preferences that are not in your radius to cover. You don't oversee operations. And so I know sometimes they get frustrated that you don't fix every little thing that they want done instantly. But we do refer people to the places that can handle it. But what I do want people to know is that you, as a council person, are focused on strategy and things overall for the city that need to be impacted. And when we say, you know, we have a problem with crime, then the answer is not always send them to jail. Sometimes the answer is find out why they're committing crimes or giving them something else to do besides committing crimes. And we don't always, in our happy life that doesn't affect us, see that you have to get down with them and find out what makes their world tick and a way to get to them, because we're getting older and they are our future. And if we don't find a way to get to them, then what does that mean? And I think that Tenard and Tony were very good on coming up with the scenario for the midnight basketball and getting Coach Terrence and Coach Pat to help us make that happen. They could have chose to put it anywhere in the city, but they chose to put it in District 5. They could have put this trade school anywhere in the city, and they chose to put it in District 5. And that's where a lot of times I don't think people realize how much behind the scenes that all of us are fighting for them. And that's not even we just rolling out the first two. That's not even everything else that's on the way. And they all can tell you that we have a bunch of other stuff coming. But I think a lot of times you don't get credit, Councilman Reeves, because you are quiet, that you don't make a ruckus and you just work behind the scenes and support us. So I just wanted to take a moment to say that.
I appreciate it, Tamiko. As y'all know one thing, I'm not here for me. I don't have no agenda. The only agenda I have is the people's agenda, literally. Like this call, the agenda, this is your call, literally. We bring people on. I'm just one of those things that I want to eliminate the barriers of excuses, because we heard enough of them throughout our lifetime and life cycle. What can't be done? Why can't it be done? And nobody focuses on any other says, how can it be done? And that's what we just do. And so, but like I said, my team, my administration is, that's why I do what I do, and very selective, because you have to have the right people around you. And so we're all doers, and we're going to continue to do, and we do for you, period. And so I'm excited because but the history is just adding to the history books. And so, but I think that's important too. And it gives our youth, there's summer jobs available too. There's outside of this, there's also summer jobs available through Facts to Thrive.
I thought we were just shining the light on Burdett right now. I didn't know we was highlighting everything else that was on the way.
Well, that is on the way. There's just part of Burdett out there because he comes through there. As this is all part of a private, public, nonprofit partnership, and Triple P. And so that's what we do, and that's driving Jacob's Hidden Hand as a part of this. And so, because they stayed the course and went through, because I believe it or not, you can't just have a nonprofit and just say I have one. That's actually, we have a process. We don't want you to be mediocre. We want you to go from good to great. And so we help assist that, because the greater that you become out there, the more that you can help in the community that you serve.
So I'll piggyback on that with you and talk a little bit about the summer youth job program as career exploration process. Again, last year in the fall, I don't know how many of you remember that Councilman Reeves paid for us to take some grant classes. And so from that, we have, some of us have continued to push through it. And Facts to Thrive, we submitted for the summer youth job program, which was our first time, and we actually got it. So we got approved about 2 weeks ago. It is an 8-week summer program for youth 16 to 24 years old that can apply to work for this summer. And we were only one of 8 organizations that got approved. So within Fulton County. So I'm really excited about that. And the link and everything will be in the newsletter coming out tomorrow, but I'll also post it in here. Tony, do you want to tell them a little bit more about, or tonight, what's coming for class tomorrow? And for those who were confused about the flyer for the midnight basketball and taking the Electric 101 class. We had last week some people who were confused that the class was happening before basketball.
Sure, and I apologize for that. So basically, when I refer to a class, it really was we call it, I guess if we call it a session. The session comes before we play basketball. Like Friday night, of course, Mr. Henry was there to discuss. He was there to discuss entrepreneurship with this. So when I talk about classes or sessions, I'm only referring to the wraparound services that we provide prior to the basketball. The actual classes will happen tomorrow on Tuesdays, Tuesdays for the next 6 weeks. So those are the electrical engineering classes. The wraparound services that happen prior to the games are those things like financial literacy and other expungement and other things that we're gonna bring to the young men and young women. But I do apologize for that.
I'm the exact same. But you know what?
Situation.
Philosophy.
Okay, somebody needs to.
Those people who talking, can y'all mute the phone, please?
Mr. Jordan,
can you mute the phones?
Mr. Jordan, I think that's Tony. Okay, yeah. So I do apologize to Miko for that mix up, but I was really referring to the wraparound sessions that happened prior to us playing basketball. This Friday, what we tried to do, of course, last Friday, we wanted to be huge. We had the food trucks out there, all the barbecue, hot dogs, hamburgers. We fed all the young men and young women that were there. We fed all the people that was in the audience. Gatorade, water. We wanted to make it a festive environment. I'm not sure. I think Channel 2 was there. I think that was Channel 2, if I'm not mistaken. They were there. We were on the news. I did see Councilman Reeves on the news, as well as Henry, as well as Deputy Director Jordan. They were on the news. So we wanted to kind of blow that one up. This Friday, of course, we will be, the intent is to always, my intention is to always make sure that I pour into those young men and young women in terms of, again, we'll have financial literacy. And I want to make sure those young men and young women, after playing basketball, they're fed. So we'll try to have some hot dogs and hamburgers there again this Friday, plenty of water, plenty of Gatorade. And of course, Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we'll do the class. And we'll do this until they try to stop us. We'll continue to pour into the young men and young women.
Is there any questions regarding the Electric 101 classes that'll be starting tomorrow at 6:30?
No, Tamiko, I just wanted to say, and just to kind of echo what you said about Councilman Reeves, and just for the record, it was from the game, everything started from 8 to 12 on Friday. I didn't leave there till 1:45. When I left, Councilman Reeves left. That's how overjoyed he was from excitement. And so I just wanted to kind of share that, because that's not typical. Of course, he's an elected official for District 5, but you could tell that it was much bigger than that. You know what I mean? He stayed there from excitement. So when I heard what you were saying, I was like, nah, she ain't lying. It is the truth. So I just wanted to salute you, Councilman Reeves, just for, not only just supporting, but, actually putting your actions where your mouth is. And so I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any more questions or any more comments from anybody? No? Okay.
What was the question for, Councilman?
Do we have any more questions or comments regarding
Councilman Reeves? I do have something I want to talk about, and I want to, it's just a caveat to what Ashley was talking about. I do think, Councilman, that is very appropriate, since this is legendary, what we're doing, to put something on that building that says the first workforce. I don't know what we want to put, but you have to remember what Burdett is about to do. District 5. It needs to be something on that memorial on that, whatever she wants to put up that says, I don't know if you build, I'm not sure what that needs to be, but it needs to be something that says this was the first to ever be done. Because I want to be able to come back to that facility in 25, 45, 50 years and say, I was a part of that right there.
Well, sir, as Tamiko can tell you and will tell you, I celebrate first in a big way. Because also, don't ever forget this neither. It's home of the first ever state championship in Parks and Recs too, Burdett 10 and under. As there's a lot of firsts. And those are going to be enshrined and memorialized forever. As I want to talk to you about that as well, and how that can happen in the most unique way. And so, because that should be recognized. That's now, if y'all should see that on the news 2, 4, 5, 6, channel 9, or whatever, how many other channels there are, as history will be made. Because ultimately, let me just say that Friday Night Live, this is Friday Night Live and its chorus, right? So it was the Usher in the Midnight Basketball. But the Midnight Basketball, the concert series, it had nothing to do with this. It was this right here, the Trade University. But understand it couldn't be done under nobody else's directorship, leadership in this department than Mr. Turner, because we share, I mean, it's the same vision for a very robust parks and rec system. So this is really throughout the city. It's citywide. This is just a big origin. That's why, you don't really see, I want to remove the politics of the situation because the people are on them to get the greatest effect of it at all, of this all. Because a robust parks and rec system throughout the city, that gets you everything else you want. Because everything else follows after that. That's my experience. And so we want the best, and hey, we got the best. I think we got the best of everything. We certainly had the best team. And so, of execution. And just stay the course. So, Mr. Turner, I do agree with you 100%, sir. 100%. And so, but just stay tuned. So there are many changes coming. For the better. Oh, matter of fact, when is because the gym, there's a gym, when is that gonna be done? Yeah, do we have a timeline for that?
They actually start, from my understanding, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. And Tony, Jordan, Mr. Jordan, you still on the line? Is he still on? Or he
They
ran?
started last week with the assessments.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go back. I just thought about it. You're absolutely right. It's a lot of first times because Burdett also will have his first ever football team. And also, now that I think about it, we're gonna have a cardio fitness studio that's gonna be opened up within the next 30 days as well. So yeah, District 5 is doing it.
All right, we really going there. We might as well roll out some of the other stuff that's in planning. Mr. Turner is trying to get y'all a soccer field. We're trying to get y'all own free concerts in the park.
No. It's not just the ordinary soccer field.
It is not.
Right. Explain that, because we want the best now.
No, this is not. This is again. It's one of the first of its kind in this area. So it's not. It's basically indoor, outdoor soccer field complex at the field down in the parking lot area. I don't have the rendering. Is Tony Jordan on the line? It's still on the line, Tamiko.
I don't see it, but I'll pull up the one I got.
If you could pull it up and show them how beautiful this is innovative. And remember, it's ultimately for the kids. We just trying to leave behind some stuff to say we were a part of. All of this stuff is for the youth. I think I told you all when I came in, I want to give the kids in the city of South Fulton, the youth, the same opportunity the youth have in Brookhaven, Gwinnett, and Chamblee Tucker, all these areas, I want to have the same opportunity. And we have to create our own opportunity. And this is what we're doing. We're creating our own opportunity for our kids. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
I'm still pulling up the picture, but we also have, so I don't even know that Mr. Turner is aware it is, but Reeves is hoping once the soccer field is done, that in the winter we can create an ice skating rink over it. And he's been crying about an ice skating rink for 2-3 years now. He wants holiday lights going down, Old National flat shows. He wants the 5 concert series. We're looking to try to start the end of the month. We're trying to close up the paperwork to do a jazz night, a blues night, a R&B night, a house and reggae night, and old school hip hop or 50th year old to them with a DJ battle. We got bingo night coming June 16th over at Burdett. I'm just going off the top of my head. It's a lot coming. You want to speak on that, Mr. Councilman Reed?
Right. You said what now? Hello?
Did you want to speak on your holiday wishes?
Well, yeah, we're supposed to get this out. We were going to do it last year. And so the time to really kind of get that is like in the March, around this time of the year. And so if we don't have help, because see down Buffington, Fairwood, Mallory, flat shows, those are main thoroughfares that come through our area. And I think that they should be. It just gives a different feeling, like in the whole holiday season, as they will light up the day after Thanksgiving, right? And so as that will start the official Christmas season, gift season. And so, but that is just, and then they'll have a festival of trees down at the field. And so to get the business participation, community participation, we can have a friendly competition, best decorated tree. So when a community can have a tree, and then, you know, people from that community go down and decorate it. And that's something for bringing us all together, bringing us out and interacting with, you know, other communities of the area, and just getting out, just getting to know different people, those who can, those who are willing to. But we would also, you know, provide an option where you can have, there'll be a video made of it. And so there's a lot that can be done. Well, but I'm asking for the donation of the trees too. It's like, if each community want to get one, if that's something y'all want to participate in or want to see executed, do let us know. But we plan for it now though. And so it's particularly the lights. And so I think that during that time, I mean, it's just lights makes a difference. Lights makes a difference on how you feel. And so, well, at least it does to me. So I know I want to be well lit, particularly throughout those areas. And of course, coming down Highway 279. And so as you start on Highway 279 in the beginning, then you come down and just stops abruptly. But that feeling goes away, and you're probably like, why is that? And so, you know what I mean? And trust me, I get mad with you because they should be up all the way down. However, we're going to work it out and then get some assistance on helping that us with the Old National District and the Economic Development Office. And so, but if y'all can help in any other way and kind of way, please do let me know as well.
We are also working on trying to create an environmental sustainable training facility. Do we want to talk about that or not yet?
So the green facility is like, it's gonna be kind of like a recyclable area, like what Merck Miles was, and like what they still in College Park, except for we're constructing a whole new deal, particularly out of containers. And so because we do want to promote sustainable and then also new choices that we can have to come and simply recyclable goods. Plus, we have the biggest glass recycler here in the Southeast, which is Strategic Materials Inc. right off of Sullivan Road. They have recycled glass. So you can actually have somewhere to take your recycled glass to. And I'm asking them to, they can provide the pickups as well. And so that's something to talk about. And so we just go out to the future. Because there's also underway design concepts for signs that's made out of that recycled glass. So as we want to show sustainability in a practical format that it can actually be utilized. So just look out for that. And when I say look out for it because they take time. But I am going to say this. I was talking a while back about some smart bumps. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a little while longer because been reaching out to no avail. And then prime example is like it ain't going to happen this year. I would love for it to have happened this year. It's just not going to. So I do want to provide you a follow-up deal with that, as I was looking forward to them smart bumps, because that's the solution that can be remedied for all. And but outside of that,
Here's a picture of the soccer field that's coming.
right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
outside
So
that,
this is the soccer field that I want down in the parking lot area because it can serve a number of things that they can do a multi functional field. Is actually soft surface, so it's not hard surface. It's just absolutely amazing that what we can do with this particular field. I would also brand it, of course, with South Fulton and Burdett Park on it at probably in the red. So this would be definitely something that we're trying to bring to the city of South Fulton. And if we can get this done, it will actually be ready to go in December. So we will have a ribbon cutting in December or November of this year if we can get this going.
well, we're going to work through all of that because that has to be done by the end of the year, correct?
Yes, sir. It has to be done by the end of the year. And it's just basically a grant that they're giving us $100,000 to come into the community and basically do the field. So
Right.
we're right now just working on I've sent the lawyers the information, all of that checked out. And the goal is to get it on the next agenda, the next council's agenda, and get it approved and push forward.
Absolutely.
So as you can see, we do have a lot of things that have taken some months at a time to get this in place. And that's why we're still trying to make it through regular affairs, is trying to bring stuff. So it's hard to handle taking care of today and tomorrow at the same time, if anybody has ever had to do that kind of planning and time management. But we are trying to hold it together. So just hold us together. And I know we're almost done, and I wanted to give Councilman Reeves some time. I know we talked about all the good things, but everything isn't perfect in the world. And so we have Camelot on here, and want to talk about some things that is trying to happen over there and going on over there. You want to address that, Councilman Reeves?
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, let me say this, as I always say, that we do not run from issues, we run to them to address them so we can provide a quick resolve. Midnight basketball, what it was designed intent is keep young people out of the street and have them something to do, an alternative. Well, against violence, particularly gun violence. But the same day, there was a person shot and killed in Camelot, same day. So all the work, this and that, third. So we, and one of the reasons is, access issues. So over the last couple of months, particularly since the last election over at Camelot for the HOA, they elected Tabitha Road. I've been talking with her. And this is another example of a public-private, nonprofit partnership that's manifesting. As, this happened over the weekend, tragic as it is. So we're going to look at the design, build, senior home community on Camelot to relocate the owner-occupiers who live within that property or who would want to relocate within that property footprint. As this input has just got the letter of intent to convey over the land, to lease the land to the city so we can develop it. And so we can get progressive movement on dealing with Camelot and all its, as its entirety, as Camelot is not one of these places that you want to tear down and just forget about and just tell everybody to scatter, whether it's a place where you have to understand the history of it and the redevelopment of it and have the people who own the land to be able to, particularly the ones who invested over there over 40, 42 years ago and been living out there ever since and seeing every bit of change. I think they deserve the opportunity to be right there. Because all I can say is, without it, go look at Old Fourth Ward, Cabbage Town, Reynoldstown. If you're not from here, you can go check those backstories. The same exact narrative was done then, 20 years ago. You go down there now, you wouldn't believe it. So Camelot, ladies and gentlemen, also sits smack dab in the middle of Highway 279. It's the centerpiece, center line of a major corridor. And it's our only condominium on the corridor. As dilapidated as it is, or it appears to be in its look, there is a whole plan of action. Me and Tabitha have been on the phone all day long today. The quick resolve is, as we're done kicking the can down the road, my objective is not to get rid of Camelot, but it's to work with Camelot to redo Camelot within. And there's some people who, quite frankly, ain't gonna benefit from it. There's some people who don't need to benefit from it. Me personally, I'm not benefiting from this one at all. No, the only thing I get out of this is show people that it can be done. And that's what I want to show. It can be done. Because those excuses of why it can't be is why this is allowed to continue and fester and affect the communities around them as well. But we're putting a halt to that. We're collaborating to put that to an end and put all other storylines to rest as we're actually working towards a resolve as a collective. Because that's the only way it will happen in its entirety, and how it needs to be fully affected. And for the things that need to happen for Camelot to happen, but by Camelot. We don't need outside forces to come in here and try to do that. It's about a financing deal. And I think that we'll be able to get that, because as housing choices continue to rise, well, there's plenty of room for new conceptual living to come to exist with a pre-existing site. Doesn't have to all look the same, but still unique in its own form, because it's a centerpiece. And I'm just saying, like, it's and I don't run from stats. they say, oh, crime's up there. They give y'all all blue. It is 40%. But we do have one area that's the cause of this. And working towards with the leadership to ensure that that'll go down quickly after certain things are done and put in place in the order it needs to be. And that's what's going to happen. And so we made strides and steps toward our first step today. And then, of course, now I'm going to give it to our subject matter experts within the city to detail it out and fluctuate it out, and how we're going to come up with a winning strategy as a plan of action to actually save Camelot and what it needs to be. And if people want to save Camelot, this and that, third, and ain't been participating, and understand something is there's ways that I think if you're a slumlord, you're proving to what you want to be in the city. And if we're a city of excellence, I don't think we want those existing. I certainly don't. And so, but however, Ms. Tabitha Rowe is on the call, and I would like to give her the mic and to let her know. And so, and everybody having any questions, I'm pretty sure she can answer or fill out any questions that you may or may not have. But Tabitha, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for allowing us on your call. Once again, big ups to Corey. He is really doing, he's walking the walk and talking the talk. So we're glad to be a part of the change at Camelot. It's been a long time coming. We definitely need the change. There's been so many distractions, and we're not worried about any distractions. We're moving forward with the change of Camelot. We all know that there was a fatality on the property this weekend as Friday night, and once again, a person that does not live at Camelot. And, all of the homeowners desperately want to change this. And, we welcome any help from anywhere. And we're going to change it. Corey and I have been working, and Tamiko with the plan. He had a meeting sometime back, and we've been collaborating back and forth. And today we gave him full go so that we are going to be a part of this change. And it's positive. So I just want to say thank God for the change, and thank everybody that's participating. And I'm all in.
Absolutely. And so as a change agent, and ideally so many people who are going to be coming out of this program, this trade program, and because it's a process, it's a long process, but they actually be able to come out and work right within those the city limits, but particularly the area from which they train from. Because mind you, I want to let y'all know that all this is participated as a whole safe zone. The target kids there is from 16 to 28. And so because you have McNair Middle School. No, McNair, yeah, it's middle. You have Bethune, Cookman, that's elementary. You have Heritage Middle School. But then you got the Tennis Center, you got Old National Park, you got two sub-communities between those. And then you have Camelot over. And those other businesses, then you have World Changers. And now we have the field as Burdett Field and the gym. And then we're looking at the trails as Girl Scouts will be providing benches made out of recycled pallets, along with the Meadows Way and all. So, and then a fire station coming. So we're looking at a whole safe zone area. And when we talked about lights and getting it lit, is that area down there will be well lit, because there'll be electric durable area, will be a beacon of light. And so I think that is very important, because if we're talking about doing all this and not trying to help the communities within it, it's in vain. The opportunity is there. And that's what we are to do, is to provide the opportunity. It is up to them to make a choice to participate in that opportunity. but we definitely want to bring it and so close to them as for the folks at Camelot who wanted to take advantage of it. They can come take trade. If they don't play basketball, I told them they can come in, we'll find a way. And so as we have to do everything possible that we can do, you know, within the parameters that we have and do it. And so, but if they don't take advantage of the opportunity, they can never say it wasn't brought to them, because it was. That's not just Camelot, that's anybody in the area. So right there. And so, but I just believe wholeheartedly it's the start of something that is a shift in the dynamics of this city. Because see, ain't nobody gonna tell me what this city is or can be, and they're not trying to do anything to work toward that goal. Because see, faith without works is dead. So it's a addition. So if I put all the work, I ain't got no faith, it's dead. Faith and all no work, dead. Both, and we live in. And if life and death is in the power of the tongue, then I say this city great, this city excellent. All that distraction and negativity, I don't even get that oxygen, people. I don't bring that oxygen don't bring that wick to here, because understand something is like all of the things that the staff is doing is that I just say that, you know, I stand behind them and they work hard every day to work towards that. And so I just think that it's something that is, I'm going to keep speaking positive and we're going to keep talking positive. And all I'm saying is this, there's negative that exists all around us, but I'm just saying of what this staff is doing, not just for this district, because it seems like everything's happening, but it goes 3 years back and it's just coming to flourish. But what they're doing for all, because this is throughout the city, is a holistic approach. And I think that this is what the people asked for and we're just executing it. But go ahead, somebody was saying something?
Mac, you have your hand up?
Yes, I have my hand up. In reference to
Are we going in line with who got their hands up?
Yes, Mac had his hand up first.
Mac,
Okay.
okay. Mac.
Okay, Jane.
Councilman Reed, I think it's excellent that you want to help Camelot. And where'd you say the money was gonna come from?
Pardon me?
Where did you say the funding was coming from?
It's a part of a public-private nonprofit partnership.
Okay, can we get some of that to cut the grass over here and this part of District 5?
Hey, check
And
this out,
get some
James,
sidewalks and
check
get some
this
more.
out. Oh, no, check this out. See, remember, we going back to Public Works, whatever, there with Brightview. Now, understand something. Why is not Brightview executing their skill time to go cut the grass? That's what we ask. That's the real question we need to be asking. I'm not gonna put that on staff because understand that that's a Public Works thing. And so,
Okay, I'm just gonna call the
get
media.
it.
It's
Y'all
no
know I was
problem. I'm
against
just
that
gonna call
because
the
they was
media
trying
because
to
they're
tell
not
me
gonna
that
get it
that was just
done.
looking crazy.
They're not gonna get it done. This is ridiculous.
Who's not
This
gonna get
is
it done?
absolutely ridiculous.
Who's not gonna get it done?
Public Works, because back in May, I sent a C-click fix about how high this grass was, and the only thing that appears to happen is that the mortar sign was moved, which I videoed a guy out there. He's at least 6 feet tall. The grass comes up to his darn thighs. So it's ridiculous. And all that happened was a mortar sign got moved because he was out there to catch the bus. And the grass was out there so high, and then there are no sidewalks out there. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, and it is a reflection of District 5.
Ms. Williams, if you don't think I'm aware of that, I mean, I am, because I got your email.
Right. So
And
what I want to know is why
I'm
is it that Councilwoman Willis
I'm
can
saying
get
this.
everything done in her district?
Who?
Willis. Now I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, are they just walking over?
I mean, I'm not comparing.
I'm just letting. Okay, all right then.
I'm not even comparing that. All I'm saying is, you send the emails. I asked you to send the emails. You did what you were supposed to do. That's what I can tell you. And so it ain't done yet, but it's gonna be done. I can't get out there and cut it. And so nor am I, nor you. That's not your job. But it should be done because we hired a co-company out of a, as I understand something, I disagree with this from the onset. So, because it was issues then, and this is just pointed out as like clockwork. And so, but I have a serious problem with their skip. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic, but it's just not done yet. And I'm just gonna say, well, other people get done or not done in that area, I'm not worried about that because you're the constituent here. It's about what's getting done here, but it's about what should be already done. It said that shouldn't even be a fight. It shouldn't be an argument. It shouldn't even be a conversation piece. That's what I'm getting at. So, because a schedule is a schedule, we pay you for a service. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it right there. But
Barbara
go ahead.
McKee. Barbara McKee. Candia.
Okay, did you guys pass me? I'm sorry, I was talking to somebody.
No, we
Yeah.
were just calling for you. Go ahead.
I will. Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, in reference to Camelot, are we partnering with the housing department? In reference to some of the residents, I agree, will not be able to stay there.
Ms. McKee, that's all part of the public-private, nonprofit partnership. As the
Okay.
nonprofits over there who have the housing will be focused on that whole component. We're not going to kick nobody out on the streets. That's not going to happen.
I understand. I just
I'm just not saying the whole layout of the plan, nor naming them, is because things get confusing to a lot of people.
I understand.
Right. And so but
okay, so I just wanted to make sure that housing probably was partnering so that the people on Section 8, I agree, they need to take the voucher and move elsewhere so that the landlord can fix up the property properly.
Right. But
That's what I'm at.
But let me just say this. Through HUD's Housing Choice Program, and they have a Section 8, I just sent the information to the nonprofits over there to look at that. Because they actually will pick up the Section 8. They can actually purchase the home. Purchase the home they ain't like that.
Right.
And so,
They can
so yeah, we want to take those ones who don't know about that and want to be active homeowners. Is now you can actually purchase that home, and see that transitions as now you're gonna be a homeowner, person in that community has a vested interest in the community as a whole, and particularly keeping up your property as well.
Councilman Reeves.
That's being looked at and addressed. Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Reeves, also, if you would let everybody know that Camelot is going to be very active in doing foreclosures and evictions on the people that are not up to par.
It's just a necessary thing that has to be done.
Right. We are on top of our collections and we will be taking care of all of those things. So don't think that we are not, this board is going to be very proactive in taking care of business. We have committees assigned and we will be taking care of the collections. We're working closely with Captain Massey about getting out squatters and people that don't belong. So all of this is taking place, and just this with what we're trying to do should all equal up to a plus.
I agree.
Candia.
Yeah, I was hoping that Mac he sent me a text saying he's been getting kicked off. I guess this is internet. So I was hoping he was going to get back on because I knew he had his hand up before me, but I'll go ahead. First of all, thanks Corey and Tamiko for everything you all are doing. I know you all have had meetings out here at Camelot with the board and everything. One of the things that people need to know that, Camelot is there's just no transparency. There's no transparency. So I really hope that the meetings that you're going to or whatever it is that you're planning on doing out here, that not only are you speaking to the entire board to get the entire board's input, but that you'll make sure that the entire community is a part of this, because a part of the conversations, because like I said, there's just no transparency, there's no communication. And it's just sad. It's sad that Camelot is in the situation it's in, and nothing's being, we don't know what's going on. You know, Ms. Rowe mentioned this board is doing this and doing that. We haven't heard anything. The election was in February. Well, January.
Miss Perry,
Yeah,
right.
I'll just leave it at that. But I just really hope that you make sure that the entire community is a part of whatever negotiations or whatever conversations the city or your staff, the city is having with Camelot.
So Miss Perry, let me just say that as stated today, we got as a letter of intent. So I said, I'm gonna send that up to the chain to the subject matter experts, not me, as to how they fluctuate and detail it out to come up with that plan of action. But once it comes up and the parties are identified, you'll see the whole team as a whole and how inclusive it is. But not just that, it's going to be meetings once a week, update meetings. It's going to be input meetings for the people who you're going to be actually it's very interactive. And then out of that, it's going to have a state of Camelot. So it'll be the state of Camelot within Camelot, right? You don't need to go outside those boundaries. Is that, but for the people who are there, you have this is the state of Camelot. And that's going to come up with what the team that does assemble puts together and put out there. But it's going to be all the information as factual as it is and transparent. And so that's the whole point. But I can't go into very much detail as there's some things and factions that want to do things different.
Yeah.
And and we're not here to do anything outside of a detailed plan that everybody collaboratively agrees upon.
I understand. And I appreciate that, Corey and Tamiko. And just one last thing, these committees that were just mentioned, no one knows about any committees. We don't know. There are no other committees. So if there are, we don't know. We need to know what these other committees are and how was the community involved in creating and getting these individuals in place for these committees. And I'm going to mute my mic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ulysses?
Yes, Corey, the home that's being built on Jerome Road, right across from Camelot, what are those single family homes? Are they townhomes? What are they? And
okay.
What is the price range of those homes that's being built there?
Mr. Conway, I was just told the earlier day because I have not forgot about that. I have a whole entire problem with that whole project. First of all, it's D.R. Horton. No, that's number one. Number two, who signed the LDP? Number three, when did the zoning change from R3? Because they just got the property acquired in August of 2022. And they said the zoning was rechanged in 2006. Please show me. I have so many questions with this project that I'm not even done with. But I'm dealing with it because it's all in one area. That's the next deal. That you have to show me how they get to that process. You get a permit, or you get a property in August of 2022. Second, is there any variance? Is there any, because R3 zoning according per the deed and per the book, and when you conveyed the property over, when was the zoning change? When was the variance? Anybody, as I've been asking these questions, but that is the next deal, because it is before they get too far in, because it's D.R. Horton. Please tell me, how do they get to the process? Now I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Bureaucracy, I know bureaucracy, and I know South Fulton bureaucracy. And all I'm saying is from August to where they at now, We don't even operate that efficient right now. But I mean, I'm just being 100% real. How do you get it from there to there? They get it in the time frame when you got people who couldn't even get a permit for 4 months. Stop! Come on, really? Help me out. Is that anyway? I'm not going because I have a headache right now, and I'm just will get into a migraine because I'm not done with that, and I produced my evidence. I'm just waiting on the evidence to contrary to mine. I could be completely wrong. But I actually got documentation that says something different. So please show me y'all different documentation. I can't find it. So if anybody on this call knows about it and got some information, please send it for me in favor of DR Hood and PDF. And mine is totally against it. And so just another thing that we have to address.
We have a
Because who signed the LDP? I'm still stuck on that because there's a lot of land clearing back there. But go ahead.
Tanya.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Councilman. And I want to give kudos to what you're doing for the community, you and your staff. So my name is Tanya Bass, and I am a member on the board of directors at Camelot. There are 2 other members on this call as well, and there's a committee member on the call. I just want to say that as far as what you were saying, that sounds great. However, the board does not have privy to any of that information. And I would definitely, and I think I can speak for the other board members, that when you're communicating with Tabitha, if you can have the board present, it would definitely provide knowledge and information for us and transparency. The last time we heard anything about South Fulton and yourself was when you and your assistant spoke with us a couple of months ago on during one of our meetings. So we would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Ms. Bass, thank you so much. It's just an extenuation of that same conversation. There's nothing different. It's legit the exact same conversation. And so this is now being executed because from that period 2 months ago, then we met in person again, April 26th. I don't know if all the board could make it, but that's what our city department heads as well. And so, but no, we're very transparent. When I'm speaking to Tabitha, I mean, it's very open. My administration talking to the HOA. And so all the members may not be present. And so, but that's y'all president representative, but from our administration, we do provide transparency. And so that's for sure. And if you need to know anything, just feel free to ask. And so, because the board is privy to the things that they need to be privy to execute and make their decision making. So some things you just ask amongst the board, but but outside of that, we provide full transparency.
Absolutely. And I was not, and if I misspoke, then I correct myself. The transparency that I was speaking of was on our side, not on your side, because I believe every person that you and I have not formally met, but every person that I've met that spoke of you spoke very highly. So it definitely was not meant for to be negative on that end. And then also with that meeting that you spoke of, the board members wanted to attend. However, we were not provided with the location nor the time. Emails were going back and forth, trying to get that information. So we definitely want to to be a part of everything that's going on. We definitely want to improve Camelot. We want these committees to be full and strong, and we want to support any positiveness that's going to come to Camelot. But of course, you know that the Camelot is made of a board of directors for a reason, and there's just not one person. So thank
And
you,
I
sir.
agree with you, Ms. Bez, I agree with you 100%. As I'm just gonna say this is they have the slogan, it takes a village. Well, get this. This is it. This is grand stage because it's gonna take the whole entire village. So it's not a one-off. And I agree with you wholeheartedly because my whole motto is collaboration win championships. There's no one individual can do that. And so then that's what I'm saying is that we're here to start the process. As these meetings that we have will include the board. They're gonna be once a week, by the way, as these update is that to everything that's going on. And so that's in full transparency. And when I say anybody, when I say Tabitha, if I say, but it's the HOA, and the HOA is the board, the duly elected board from the community. So that it's every meeting. My expectation is for y'all to be there. It was never for y'all not to be. As it'll be once a week. So as these things are going on, it's updated, and so that nobody's confused or nobody's misinformed, because it's in order for there's a lot of distractions that will want to come into play, but you just have to recognize what that is, and then just keep going down the path of keeping your eye on the prize, because the team is in place. We have subject matters in place. And I think we have everything in place that's needed to execute. And I just don't want to miss that opportunity or that window of opportunity, because we're showing the world what can actually do, what we can do, or what can be done. And we're just simply just taking this a village and putting it into live motion.
So we're
That's
coming
that.
up on 8 o'clock. So I want to just let
Yes.
these last couple go so we can wrap up. Mac, you had a comment?
Yes, thank you. I'm with Tanya, and thank you for being transparent, because I'm a longtime homeowner in Camelot, and the problem is some of the people on the board, and this goes on and on. So we're just not hearing this. Like everybody said, I kept getting kicked out because I was immediately, I'm on this Councilman Corey all the time. So I'm immediately, my hair stands up when all of a sudden, here comes some other folks that's never been on your meetings, never on your call all the time, and even the prop up and the whatever. So I'm agreeing with what Tanya said, because I missed everything else. There is no transparency in Camelot, and that's the problem. Homeowners, whoever, whatever, this incident that happened is an outside incident. We've been trying to get a basic security fence, a basic security guard or something since I've been there. That's been 8 years. So I just wanted to say that I'm pissed about the whole thing, that this is even happening. It's always a surprise with Camelot.
Well, Mr. Mack, check this out. As no worries, because the board and the owner occupied, as in yourself, as I'm setting up a whole entire another meeting out there with y'all all together. Facts. And so, as it gets said, because, and that's what I'm saying is, whatever you have no idea on or stuck upon, is that's a whole separate meeting out there is brought out to the forefront. That's because in order for this to manifest itself, as transparent is very key. The belief in that people are going to do the right thing. I don't use the word trust. Okay, the word trust is a revocable. That's a whole nother story. But you trust in God. But I have a belief that we all want to be on the same page, and I, do know that there's a lack of trust, particularly financially and fiduciary, and how things are executed. But that's why that the things that's going to be done is in a different manner because y'all are actually participants, sir. Y'all are not just, it's not just for y'all, y'all actually participating in the whole conceptual idea of this because it's on the footprint. And it's basically a senior housing, but it's really been done with you all in mind of having the opportunity to place out there to relocate within the footprint as, option. But I'm not going to talk about it on this call because that's something that's for that group specifically. And so, and you'll have to, but I'd rather have this done sooner than later. As if you have as I have had on some of the owner-occupied, I don't have them all, but I want to differentiate those ones I think that you might have them or you might know. And this board, we're all gonna meet. It's not something. This is a conversation, but we're having all a one-off specifically for that group of individuals. So you'll be there.
And just so that everybody knows, the board was informed about all of this in a meeting with Corey. We were well aware of this. Some of the board members were actually supposed to form help with the nonprofit. So we were all aware of this. Mr. Mack, I'm sorry that we did not get everything out to you, but we did not have a firm, this didn't come into real existence yet. It was all preliminaries, but we were all informed of what Corey wanted to take place. And now it has happened. So we were all informed. And I know it's time for this meeting to cut, but I just want you guys to know that.
All right, Ms. Perry.
Mr. Mack, I do reach out to D'Amico. D'Amico, please get his information, and we'll be getting in contact with you as well. And so, reach out to D'Amico tonight if you can, so with your information. So, we'll have that on file, and you'll be part of the conversations that we go forward.
No, thank you, Mr. Councilman Reeves, for all that you do. But I'm telling you, this stuff in Camelot is deeper. It's messy. When I tell you, I'm just a regular person, and I was laying low until it continues to get annoying. It's who's on the board, some of the people, and who's doing what on this board continuously. Like I said, I'm 7 years in. Simple stuff has not been done. And this conversation, you could speak a good game, but I'll reach out. I'll reach out, and I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Is it the last one, or was that the last one?
Ms.
No,
Perry.
Corey, I got one more thing, Corey.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be short. My garbage wasn't picked up by the old people last Wednesday. So I got 2 cans and no one pick up today. So I sent an email to Natasha and a request through the system. Megan showed me how to go through the request, but they still hasn't came back today. So I have 2 garbage cans from the old people and our new city garbage can, which was supposed to be today, Monday. I'm on the Monday route. So can someone please check on that for me? I did put the request in.
Yes, ma'am. Well, if it helps you feel any better,
and I have medical equipment.
Right.
Huh?
If you feel any better, my garbage didn't get picked up today neither. Because their service discontinued last week, but they didn't grab the can. I wonder why they thought they can.
I don't know.
Because I'm ready to use my South Fulton can.
Yeah.
And so it's yes, ma'am. I understand. I got you.
Yes. Okay. And so that's all. And we just pray that things work out for Camelot and believe God gonna come in and continue with you. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. And the Rex people, our Rex Center people are doing a good job. So we're just gonna believe God that everything gonna work out. All right. Yeah, have a good one.
Well, Ms. McKee, I'll tell you what. Why don't you
Wait, Ms. Perry had a comment before Ms. McKee jumped in front of her.
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
That's great. Well, first of all, Ms. McKee, thank you so much for, those kind words about Camelot. We do appreciate that. And, but Corey, one quick, and you may have answered it. I was trying to listen, how you be talking. I'm like, did he just answer my question? But when you're having those meetings with the board, Are those going to be open meetings or strictly with the board, those weekly meetings? That's all I want to know.
Okay, so as I was explaining to Mr. Mack, the weekly meetings is with the people that's involved. The people that's involved are the owner occupiers, because the owner occupants of those units and the board. It's a collective. As I said, that because they're going to be a part of the design, this is a very interactive deal. It's not going to be a time to be mute. It's going to be a time to, to accentuate those things that they want to have. And so this is not just a administration board. This is an administration group, board, and owner occupiers. That's why I said that specific group of people.
Okay.
So, and I don't know how I'll be talking, so you just said something that I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, but Ms. McKee, but I will say this.
Yes, sir.
I want you to outro us on this day with prayer. Your words will be the last ones we hear. But I do want to thank each and everyone for being on this call. Appreciate y'all giving y'all input. I love you. You can't do nothing about it. And just understand this is that as we move forward, we're going to continue to move forward. We're going to continue to be game changers, and we're going to continue to strive to be a city that's in the black. And so, and I appreciate all of what y'all do, all y'all commentary, right, wrong, good, bad, and different. It doesn't matter. It's your opinion. You have a right to it. Execute it. And so, but also too, participate in the things that's happening in your community, because they're happening in your community. So think about that as well. And let's move forward. And Ms. McKee, just outro us with prayer. And like I said, after that, we'll just hang up.
Amen. And Lord, we just thank you for the prosperity you're giving us in the growth of our economic development in this city. And Lord, we just ask you look over Camelot especially and the residents in there. And Lord, we just thank you for the meeting on tonight, Lord. The information you gave us, let it be hid in our hearts, Lord. And we'll continue to give you the praise and you the glory, how you're building our city. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Good night.
Amen.
Amen.